I love the way the First Gen Lounge makes me feel.
Because it creates a space where I belong.
Where we're able to create community.
The fact that it's a community.
It's a safe place.
It also gives me a place to understand different perspectives.
The stories of these individuals prescribe transformational perspective.
I receive encouragement, enlightenment, empowerment.
And also serve as a catalyst to just keep going.
Where we're able to be our true selves.
I'm allowed to be an unapologetic first gen.
And above all else, tell our story.
And every episode is unique.
I love it.
I'm your host, Dr. Eve, and I'd like to welcome you to the First Gen Lounge. Hey, y'all. Hey, it is another Thursday. I think they used to call this when we was growing up. Ebony, you remember that? They had this thing, what was it in Charlotte? Dirty 30 Thursdays? They just, but look. And we good in our 30s now. Don't nobody judge. Oh, look, I'm telling my age. I'm proud. Okay, I'm glad. Look, y'all, I am sitting here and I'm so excited about this interview because this is the first that this has happened. My friend from middle school, y'all.
Oh
middle
gosh.
school. So we like, I don't even know how many years ago, 18, almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm talking about, we go back. She remembers me from the days, we were just talking about it, days of rapping Big Baby.
Yes, Big Baby.
Yeah, that was funny. We
used to rock the pep rallies.
Oh, man, look. So it's crazy that all of these years later, y'all, we would find each other again through social media and just realizing, oh my God, is that Ebony? Oh my God, is that Eve? And then just talking. And then, yo, she's first gen. How did we miss that? But I mean, of course, there's a lot of things you don't know when you in middle school. A lot of things. But y'all, Ebony is here and she is, when I say she bombed, I ain't even lying. Not just because I've known her since middle school, but to even have watched her evolve, it has been extremely beautiful. And, you know, while she is truly a creative, she's also a woman who has been in tech. So I'm going to let her tell y'all everything about her. So Ebony, just go ahead and let the family know who you are and what is it that you do?
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for having me, Dr. Eve. I feel like it's long overdue.
Hello. It is.
So hello everyone. I am Ebony Staten and I am a first generation college student and I am from Charlotte, North Carolina, 704.
Hey, go ahead. Yes. You real 704. Not Southward, Concord, Charlotte.
Yes, Charlotte. So I graduated from North Carolina Central University and I obtained my Bachelor's of Science in Computer Information Systems and I later received my Master's in Information Science. So once I graduated in 2008, I started my IT career trajectory and I hit the ground running. I had a job waiting for me after I graduated and at that time it was very lucrative compared to my other counterparts that, graduated in 2008 because we were in the middle of a recession. IT was flourishing, and so I started my job with the state of North Carolina and I was there for about 4.5 years. And in 2012, I kind of transitioned to a new position with another company, still in the IT role. But with this role, I was 100% virtual. So like when I say 100% virtual, like 100% virtual, I didn't have to go into an office. Like my coworkers, they were like in the Woodland, Texas and in Illinois. So, that was kind of a task, just kind of getting, adjusted to everything with me and 100% virtual on my own. So besides like traveling and, living my best life with this position, I kind of made the executive decision to leverage this opportunity. And because of the flexibility that I had, instead of climbing the corporate ladder, air quotes, like getting my certification and all that jazz, I decided to pour my energy into something I loved, and that was decorating, And so in 2015, I started my side hustle, which I named it the Vogue Room. And so I literally created an IG page, and this was before all the analytics and algorithm that's out there today. And I just started posting, and I just grew my presence on social media, and like Home Goods and at homes started reposting my work, and I just literally just grew that following and that business business while maintaining a full-time job. And so like literally today, the Vogue Room is an interior styling boutique located in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I help people like you guys design a home that's a direct reflection of your personal style. And so from there, it's a long story. So from there, last year, still, growing the Vogue Room and working a full-time job, I felt I still wasn't fulfilled, in a sense, as far as I wanted to make like a difference in someone's life. I wanted to be impactful in a sense. And so literally I was on social media. This was like last year around May. And this was like during graduations. And I saw a post by Michelle Obama and it really resonated with me. It was a picture of her in the early 80s and she was on the campus of Princeton. And she stated that she was a first generation college student and it was a scary experience. However, her advice to students was to be brave and stay with it. Mm-hmm. And after reading that post, I literally had my aha moment, and so from that simple post, I created an application. Like I jotted down some ideas and I said, you know what, I'm going to sponsor a first generation college student and use my gift of decorating and blessing that individual. And so it just kind of went from there. And today I have the Vogue Room Foundation, which is like a spinoff of the Vogue Room, my business. And so that's where I am right now at this current moment.
I told y'all she was a boss. Y'all, somebody gonna believe me one day. Somebody gonna believe me what I say now. And listen, who would have ever thought? Let me just put it that way, because we went to Cochran.
Yes.
And, it was all black middle school. I won't say we was hood, but we were like baby West Charlotte. Just the idea that it was culture and it was nothing for us to be black where we were, but we were comfortable as well. And to think about where we are in our lives now, coming from an area that growing up, I didn't even realize was hood, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And so, just to realize, because it was life for us. This was every day.
Yeah, it was.
And so to think you even landed in IT, I want to dig into that just a minute, because you have two different worlds going on. One is totally creative and design and just very artistic. And the other one is like straight up science. It's like, what got you into this field? What led you to that decision? And how were you able to balance your scientific self and your artistic self, even through your degree?
Yeah, so I think we can actually go back to Cochran, because I remember taking a keyboarding class in the 7th grade. I think her name was Miss Kelber.
Yep.
It's amazing how things just connect. But I remember I love computers. And ever since then, it's just been like, I'm just like, okay, I want to take a computer course. So even when I went to Garinger, I was in this computer science program. And it just kind of geared me towards computer. And then in high school as well, I interned in Microsoft. I was selected to intern at Microsoft, and it just kind of like went from there. And so I went to college. I majored in computer information systems, and it led me there. But I just feel like with that as well, I've always been a creative person, and some things that I do, like in my career aspect, I can transfer to the creative side as well. So I think it goes hand in hand with the two.
That's really cool. I can dig that. And I love that you said that you interned in high school.
Yes.
At Microsoft?
Yes, at Microsoft.
Okay. What they do that at? Okay. That's big. So you've continued to land in the right space. Yes. How has that been possible for you, being that it's nothing that was the case for your family? So what is it that helped you to position yourself to be where you want to be or where you are now?
Well, I think because even though my family didn't have the credentials, but they've always been very supportive. It was really instilled in me, you're going to get your education. And plus I was on an AB honor roll, and I had really good influences. Like my friends, they were doing good. We were very active in school. And so I was really being exposed at an early age to how, how college students look like. Going to NYSP for a summer camp on John C. Smith campus. It just kind of all just instilled in me, like, hey, like one day I'm gonna go to college as well. So I don't think like necessarily just because my parents didn't have the credentials, but they just kind of like prepared me and led me in the direction that I wanted to go someday.
That's really exciting because, as first generation college students, graduates even now, one of the things about us is that sometimes families don't understand, so they don't know how to be supportive, but that doesn't mean they can't be supportive.
Right.
So I think it was really big for you to say that. My mom was always, you just gonna do what you want to do. But I, like yourself, because I ended up going to Harding and, shout out HUHS, but went to Harding and I was surrounded by people who, in my head, they were doing well. People who were going to become doctors and lawyers and accountants and firefighters, policemen. They were going to do all kinds of things. They had dreams, and just being around them, wanting to go to college, wanting to go to graduate school. I'm like, oh, okay, well, this college thing is new.
Right.
I thought for a minute I was going to graduate high school and just work and get an apartment for my mom. And that was the plan, the goal. And then I had a history teacher, who was just like, nah, we ain't going. We're going to go to school. So even having a desire to want to do well was that, but then not knowing how to was the challenge for me. And even thinking about it. But like yourself, my grandfather would always tell me, you're going to go to school, get an education, go to school, get education. Okay. Whatever that means. But kind of coming back around to, you deciding to start this side hustle, because it's not like what you're doing in IT or what you've done in IT was anything that, let me just be for real, was like you was broke. It ain't like you needed to. So how do you even navigate or manage that? Because here you are, had a good paying career with good benefits and everything, and still wanted to do the side hustle thing. Because some people would say, well, that's just doing too much. I'm comfortable. How did you not settle, or not get caught up in the fact that I'm doing okay? What was it that pushed you?
Well, I think with the with the virtual position that I was in, I needed an outlet. I'm a very social person, but I was just in my house day in and day out, talking to my coworkers online. Like, that's not cool. It's cool in a way. It has its pros and cons, but me just being a social person, I just feel like that it was my creative outlet. And so I just took it from there. Like I said, I started an Instagram page and just kind of build that. But along the way, I had to meet people as well. It's a completely different industry that I wasn't used to at all. I didn't know anyone, and just collaborating with people on social media. Like, to this day, I met my design mentor, Design Incredible, and different other like designers that's in the area. I wanted to collab, because I just feel like I needed to grow. We live in this world where everyone think that, everyone is competition, but collaboration is way greater than competition to me. And that's how you're going to grow. I just feel like you're like in any industry. So
yeah, I'm with that. And I love how you continue to really touch on the idea of collaborating through social media, because when I realized, and I was just talking to you about Marie Forleo, who I've just really become a fan of, and I don't even say that lightly, like it was all of a sudden that I was like, yo, I really, really dig her. I really dig her. But to say that her presence is online, and it's not that online is easy for me. It just seemed like being that I want to build an online business, that I am building an online business, that it is something that I can reach more people in more spaces. And my goal is to be able to help. Like, I really want to help. I really want to serve. But like yourself, it's needing to be social. It's needing to still figure things out. I'm always like, hey, how can I collaborate? How can we get together? How can we do this? And using social media. Because if you're going to put it out there, like, don't just be there to be seen, be there like to be worked with. But, and I keep saying that because a lot of people on social media, because they want to be seen, not because they really want the collaboration. But hey, I'm going to try anyway, but I love that. I mean, speaking of collaboration though, what would you give as advice to somebody who is an entrepreneur, aspiring entrepreneur, who wants to collaborate with other people that maybe they see on social media? How would you tell them to approach them, or what has been working for you in terms of reaching out and saying, hey, I would love to work with you?
Well, the thing about it is that I'm really not that direct, because this is the thing, we live in a society where people just want to take. And it's kind of like, what can you offer? I'm all about reciprocity. And so I really like to build an organic relationship with someone. So maybe it's just starting out, just, telling the person how fly they is, complimenting people, like letting people know like why you like them at least, and then they start to see, the compliments or whatever. And then they may want to get to know you, but, just kind of like, I never been that type of person to just like, hey, like, can you be my mentor? I just like things to organically grow and for someone to get to know who I am and to also see that I'm a value to them as well, So, yeah.
Oh, you said that. Yes, you did.
Yes.
Because it's the thing, you have to be able to give as much as you take and take as much as you, vice versa. Like I said, reciprocity. I'm like, oh, somebody said my word because I'm like that too. I'm always looking to see how can I help? What can I do? Because you just never know, like some people going to use you though. Let's just be for real. Some people you want to help and they just going to take advantage. But then you have to realize, well, that's just who they are and move into the next. But I think it's really important that we as people look to offer and look to give before we look to take.
Yes.
And that's extremely important. That's the golden rule to networking. If anybody doesn't know, now you know. The most important thing for you to do is give before you take.
Yes.
Yes. So tell me, in your grown years, since you've grown now, what do you think, especially being somebody who's first generation, being educated, having opportunities and greater opportunities than some of the folks in your family may have ever had, what has been one of the most challenging things for you and how have you been able to navigate that challenge, be it that it's something personal or professional?
Well, I think because just like you stated about, growing up, I went to Cochran, I went to Garinger, then I went to a HBCU.
You just kept it black.
Yeah, I kept it.
I don't know. Well, you just black. Jesus. Dang.
But listen, so, once I got that first job, when I got my job out of undergrad and I was working with the state of North Carolina, I was like the only black person in the room. So then that's when things started to shift a little and you just kind of like, you kind of just, I don't know. It's like a feeling. Not to say that I'm less than or whatever, I guess just because I never been in that type of environment before. And so instead of just kind of diminishing my light and me being black, because you can't get like, well, I don't fit in or, and all these things. But I kind of use that to my advantage. Like, I started to get to know my coworkers, started to kind of diversify myself. I learned how to play darts. I started eating sushi, I learned how to use chopsticks, so instead of like, that was a struggle, but then I just kind of use that to my advantage because I'm like, okay, well, you either gonna go to another place, and if you go to another place, you might still be just that one black person. So what are you gonna do in your situation? And so that's what I just kind of used that to my advantage and started to learn their culture as well.
Yeah. You know what? You just giving it all to me today because in spite of, one, you stayed open.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with that. 2, you made no excuses, period. And 3, to have that realization that this is not going to change. Because, it may have been blackety black, but it still ended up being that this world is still much different than our, and I would say a safe space. HBCU is a safe space. I'm just be for real. Where you can be, how we call it now, sophisticated, do all these things and still not feel like you are out of place.
Yeah.
And I commend you for that. And I commend anybody who's listening to this show for being daring and stepping outside of your comfort zone, no matter what that looks like. Not even being as black, if you're Hispanic, if you're Asian, whatever, anything that's different. Because like yourself, sushi, I ain't no damn sushi.
Exactly.
I ain't no raw fish.
Exactly.
And
that's how it was.
one of my homegirls is like, I'm gonna put you on, and so slowly introduce me. Same thing, chopsticks, or even travel, because you travel as well, yeah?
Yeah, that's the thing. It exposed me to traveling as well, yeah.
So I love that. I really love that. That's really awesome. So So shout out to you for that. What would you say has been the most eclectic of the things that you've tried in sushi? I like some sushi.
Well, I like raw sushi.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Check you. So you stepped it all the way up. Okay.
I stepped it all the way up.
Yeah, I got to take the baby steps. Baby steps.
I love my tuna rolls mixed with a little cream cheese, my little eel sauce, and a little crunchy. I don't know what it is on the top of that.
We're going to go get some sushi together because you're talking my language right now. Sometimes the cucumber, avocado.
Yeah.
That crunchy be it. Okay, that crunchy everything. I'm telling you. And I like a nice fried roll too.
I do too.
I know. I mean, I know that's not like real, but it's something about that experience that is good. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Oh man. So look, I can trip with you all day. This is like a reunion. Y'all, if y'all ain't caught it by now, this is like a whole reunion. And we have talked more like over the past few weeks. So it ain't like we just now talking, but just the good old times. So, but still curious though, just considering like where you are right now, what is it about, your womanhood that you found to be so special? Because again, you are a creative and you are a tech. Like, so you created tech and, you're still a woman and a woman of color. So even in all of your growth, how have you been able to just embrace your womanhood and still be, in a space where it's still male dominated? I mean, virtual, even if it was virtual, still very male dominated, still where you're a minority and have to be strong and be who you are, but still be you, a Black woman. Like, how has that been?
So I think remaining true to who I really am is going to always help you, like in a tech career, in your entrepreneurial journey, whatever path you decide to take, just remaining true to who you are will take you a long way.
That's a fact. I'm with that. That just tickled me. You tickled me real good just now. So kind of thinking about personal development. What are some things that you do to continue to develop yourself? Be it that's reading, writing, conferences. What are your things? What are your go-to?
Oh, yeah. So I'm always going the non-traditional route, not necessarily like going back to school, but I look for other ways of learning, like far as like non-traditional ways. So if an interior designer that I admire is having a course, I'm signing up for that course. If it's a conference, just like Thursday, I'm going to the Black Enterprise Conference. And there's so many sessions about entrepreneurship and social media, growing your social media. So just things like that, I'm always trying to learn, even if it's on someone live, that they saying they're going live and they're going to be talking about this and that whatever I can benefit from, I'm all ears when it comes to things like that and growing. And also as well, just being surrounded by like-minded people, not being the smartest, I like to be around people that make me uncomfortable, that's going to make me think, and that has definitely helped me to grow.
I'm with that. I like that because it's exposure. Still goes back to exposure. And I like that you lean into that part of yourself that's really about socialization. So being around folks as well, and just being a part of a community. That's really awesome. So kind of I'm thinking even around still personal development, have there been any books that you've read that are a favorite that you're reading now that you would suggest that we do read for the people?
So of course, like one of my favorites is the 4 Agreements. Kind of read that every year just to kind of, get in tune with everything. But the book that I'm reading now, well, I haven't really opened it yet, but it's called The Ultimate Sales Machine. And that's by Chet Holmes. And even with that, selling, I'm selling a service, so I need to freshen up on my selling skills and things like that. So I'm always just trying to read books like that that I can, advance my entrepreneurial business as well.
I like that. So really literally investing in how you want to grow.
Right.
That's really cool. Yeah, but look, we are getting to a point where we're going to have to wrap it up, and we could literally talk all day, but we can't. I mean, we not, because I don't want the people to just be like, okay, I'm tired of listening now. But I be trying to give y'all the good stuff out there, people. I be wanting y'all to stay to the end. But not Ebony, but if you will, at this point, one of my favorite questions I ask every guest, that said 2 questions I ask everybody. Tell us about yourself and this one. And this one is, if you could leave us with any piece of advice, any wisdom, any thought to remember you by, something to carry with us for the rest of our lives,
what would that be?
That's a good question. So I would say anyone you meet, you should make sure that you cultivate a relationship with, not what the person can do for you, but to genuinely build a relationship with the person, because you never know when you're going to need them in the future, or maybe they'll need you.
You just never know. Everything comes around, because who would have thought all these years later we would come back around to each other, right? And then and collaborate. Like, big. I love this. Ebony, you have been an absolute joy to have here today. Actually, in my head, like, I got to bring you back because, there's some stuff I know we didn't get to dig into, but it's all good. But while we're doing this, tell the folks where on the internet they can find you.
Yes. Well, you can find me at The Vogue Room on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of that good jazz. And you can also follow my foundation, which is at the Vogue Room Foundation on Instagram and Facebook as well.
Right. And then you'll be doing a dorm room makeover next year for the foundation, right?
Yes. I just wrapped it up yesterday. And so the foundation, I don't think I even talked about that, but the Vogue Room Foundation is a nonprofit in which we help a first generation college student with a successful transition into university living, which consists of a dorm room makeover. And so that's just literally to alleviate the burdens that may come with decorating your dorm room when you get to college. So that's that initiative that I have in place. You can follow along, like I said, at the Vogue Room Foundation on social media. And so that's that initiative.
Where were you when I needed you? But it's all good. Yes. You here now. I'm just going to let you do a house makeover or something one of these days.
Yes.
Look, but again, Ebony, you are amazing. Thank you for being here, for sharing your wisdom, for your light. Wishing you nothing but the best in everything that lies ahead. And no, we here in the First Gen Lounge, we got your back.
All righty. Thank you so much for having me.
You are so very welcome.